and welcome to Lily and the Bee. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you my finished English paper pieced hot water bottle cover, which I'm really super proud of. And also I haven't started stitching it yet, but I've started it and I'm planning it. So I want to talk about that at the end, which is a quilt as you go project. So it's all hand sewn, but I'll talk about that a bit later. I'm also going to show you my needle case again, because I could see in my last episode that a few people, you can tell in the analytics, that a few people had tried to look at that bit a couple of times, and I'd only flashed it up. So if you hadn't seen it because you were new, I'm going to show you again so you can see it. So it is, I'm just going to take the cotton out of my needle because I'm going to end up pulling the needle out. Let's take that needle out. So this is the one that I made a couple of weeks ago. I used Hexiform for the petals and the centre, and hand stitched around the outside. I just made the pattern up. I just made the flower and then cut out the right shape that I wanted. Just got a little bit of wadding in, just a rectangle, and then laid the peach fabric. And I wanted to practice my binding and hand stitched all around the outside like that. It's mainly for needles because I've got a pin cushion, but I have got a few pins in there as well. So I've just been using that with my hand sewing projects, and I just put a little thread, which is now tying up as I'm talking to you. I just put some little thread just to fasten it at the side, which was an afterthought because I hadn't really planned it. But anyway, just sort of show you that if anybody wanted to see it last time and I just flashed it up and they couldn't, there it is. And that goes in my little basket, which is what I flashed up and showed you last, in my little basket where I just take out all my projects if I'm working on something hand sewing, which is what I'm mainly doing at the moment, is hand sewing. I'm starting the year focusing on hand sewing small cute projects, although the project I've got to show you towards the end isn't small, but it is hand sewing, and it's going to be a slow project going throughout the year. So let's start with the hot water bottle cover. So this is a pattern by Jules Hill from So Sweet Violet, which is sadly, the shop is actually closed now, so you can't get the pattern anymore. There are patterns on YouTube. I'm sure if you really wanted to make one with the pattern, I'm sure there are other patterns, and you could do the front with English paper piecing and just cut that shape out like I've done on this one if you wanted to. So there are ways around it, but this was a really lovely pattern, really easy to follow. So yeah, I'm happy I bought that. So this is my finished one, and I used, which I bought a little while ago, it wasn't I just chose the colours of the fabrics. They're all from the same company, Ruby Star Society, but I just chose ones that I liked really. They all tended to go together anyway. So this is, and there's just it fastens with the button there, and then you can obviously take that back. Just got pink spots inside. You can take that back to put the bottle in. I haven't been using it. I finished it at the weekend, but I haven't been using it. I wanted to show you as it was without anything inside. And this is the other side. You could do English paper piecing on both sides, but in the pattern it just said to just plain on the other side. But I put this here because I really love this fabric, but I didn't have enough, so I've just put this, and I put it at an angle because I thought it looked quite nice at an angle. And I've also used this little badge, which was what I got from the fabric I bought last week from Rose Garden Patchwork, and they've got some more beautiful fabrics coming, so I'm going to be looking at them again. But I've got the little ones I bought last time. I'll use them first. I have plans for them. And I just did some little hand stitching as well, just in a bright pink. And again, it's just binding. I'm new to binding. I don't, because I'm kind of a bag maker, and bag making is different to this kind of quilty things in a lot of ways. A lot of it is hand sewn, and you do tend to bind a lot of the edges, which I'm not used to doing. So I'm starting off, like I started off with this one, and now this had a little bit of binding on. But this was actually machine sewn. The binding was machine sewn on one side, and then I hand stitched it the other side. And obviously all the outside was hand sewn. It was machine sewn as well. but all the English paper piecing was hand sewn. I hope I've said that right. I'm sure you know what I mean anyway. So I love making this, and it's nice to make something useful that I'll actually use. And I love the colours. I love the combination of the pink and the yellow and the orange and the lilac, and it's just got some ice cream. It's got some radishes, but they're sort of on the cut off. You did have to cut off quite a lot around the edges, which was a bit hard to do, but I've kept the scraps because they all went together, and I thought if I want to make another scrappy project, I can. So yes, I will use that, and it's made me feel good about making things that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to have a little bit. I've got nettle tea, which is supposed to be good for you, but I don't really like it, so I've got a pile of honey in it. So it tastes nicer with the honey in. I still don't love it though, but it's good for me. So actually, I'm going to put this needle back, otherwise it defeats the object of having a needle case when you've got the needle laying there ready to be flipped on the floor. I am naughty, because I do tend to stitch in bed, and that's why I take this basket, and I've also got a tray. We watch television in bed. My husband gets up really early for work, so he goes to, sometimes he's asleep, and then I'll just carry on stitching in bed. And it's cold, it's winter, it's cold. So yeah, really, really happy with that. Might even make another one. I could make another one for Neil. I've got lots of fabric, like Spider-Man and Marvel and that kind of thing, and Star Wars. So I think I could possibly make, he did say he prefers his hot water bottle naked, he doesn't want a cover, but I might make him one anyway, at some point. Anyway, future plans. So yeah, that's that finished. I can recommend the pattern, but unfortunately the shop is closed. But like I said, if you're interested in making one, I mean, you could just draw around the edge of your hot water bottle, because I did think I could do that, but I just wanted to follow a proper pattern, so I knew that it fitted. But there are other patterns available, I'm sure. So I really want to make a quilt as you go, and I've had to think about it. They're all hand sewn, and basically you are making little shapes, and you make the whole shape with the backing on and the wadding in the middle, and then you stitch them together. So afterwards, you've joined them all. When you join them all together, you don't have to then put a backing on. You're doing it as you go. Hence the title, Quilt as You Go. You can do them in lots of different shapes. I have chosen hexagons. I don't know if I'm going to use this size yet. I've brought a selection. I've got all I keep all my templates in here. I bought a whole heap of different sized hexagons, and I don't know what size I'm going to do, whether I'm going to do big ones, or I could do. So basically you need one for the outside and one for the middle. And the outside fabric, and the wadding's the same size as this centerpiece, and this is the main fabric that you want to see from the front. This is going to be the back, the bigger one, and you fold it over, same as I have done with this basically, but with this shape. And hand stitch, it's all hand sewn, and I think it's a good way to use up, for me, it's a good way to use up my scraps, because I did an episode where I sorted out through all my scraps, and I also talked about how my scraps didn't really inspire me, but I've been having a look through this morning, but they have nice memories of things I've made for other people, things I've made for YouTube, and all things that have really helped build my confidence. So I think it's nice to have a nice memory of that, really, and it's made me, even sorting through the fabric, I was thinking, oh yeah, I've had this all this time, or I made this with this, and so I've sorted out just some basic ones, like just some spots for the background. So aesthetically, I don't know what this is going to look like. I'll try and make it look nice, obviously, but it's not going to be the same as if I'd gone out and chosen a mass of fabric that matches, or bought a whole pack and it all looks beautiful because it all goes together. There's all sorts in here, so I don't know. Some of them I don't know if they're going to be big enough. I've got hedgehogs because I made my nanny a cushion with those on. I haven't even ironed them. I've got, this might be too big, but I've got something that I embroidered on ages ago. I've got some, this is a charity shop buy, I think. I just got that with the little seed heads on, which is really pretty, so that's probably something I'll use for the backing. I've got a little bit of this left. It's a different texture, but I think that's going to be okay. I've got some mushrooms, I've got a little more selection of just more plain and spots for the back. As you can see, I don't really go together, so I don't know what it's going to look like. I've got some big flowers there. I've got this, which I made a bag out of, and I've got some left. So I'm excited to start it, but I don't know. I'm thinking, what is it going to look? Is it going to look dreadful? I don't know. I've got this, which actually goes really nice. This, doesn't it? The yellow. Well, I could go around the outside. I've got this one. More spots for the back. Just a little floral. So none of these are dreadful, but I don't know what they're all going to look like together. But one of the things I like doing is making things look nice. I made a dress for a mouse, not a live mouse, a toy mouse I made. I'll find a picture for it, which if you've been following me for a long time, you've seen it, out of some 80s fabric patchwork scraps that my mum gave me. And they looked really old-fashioned. They were sort of 80s, dull, but it actually turned out really nice. So I'm hoping with this, I've got all different sorts of fabric, I can make it look nice. So I've got this one, which again I made a bag with. A lot of them are beachy. But then I've also got one with rabbits on, just a random rabbit one. I've got a map, which might use that for a back of one. I've got some leaves that could be used as a back. I've got some camper vans, and these are just the ones I've sorted through this morning. And I've got some birds. So they were either nature, floral, or spot, really, aren't they? So there is a theme, but they're all different colours. I don't know. So now I've shown you, I'm feeling nervous about it. I thought, oh, what is it going to look like? What have I said? But I'm definitely going to do it. I've got my templates. Just got to cut some out and start it, really. And what I'll do is I will make up a few this week, and then I'll show you next week what they look like and how I've made them. Just briefly show you how they've come together, sort of thing, and how I'm joining them. This isn't my idea. I've seen quite a few other people make it, and people making it in different, like I said, different like squares or rectangles, or I've even seen some people machine sewing them, but I want to hand sew, because hand sewing is what I want to do more of this year. So I'm going to hand sew all of mine. But yeah, you could use anything. I've got some vintage embroideries I could use as well, mix them in. Actually, they might be quite good because they will lighten up. These are all different patterns, aren't they? All different. If I use something like kind of like a white, or some of the embroideries, I'm not going to spoil anything. They all are past their best, as in using them as a tablecloth. I haven't got a tablecloth that I can use. I've got some little doilies and that kind of thing. So actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that, and then I feel a bit better what it's going to look like then. So what do you think? Is that a good idea? But I feel better even using some of them, because I don't want to throw them away. I could give them to the charity shop. I think what I'll do is, once I've made the quilt, with the ones that I haven't used, I think I might give them to the charity shop. So I feel a bit more, I sometimes feel a bit overwhelmed if I've got too much stuff. Are you the same? The more fabric you have, and or whatever craft that you do, the more that you have, sometimes you can't really end up not doing anything because you've got too much. And it's kind of there, you know it's there. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do anyway. But I'm looking forward to starting that. I hope I don't get bored with it because I haven't bought new. Because when you buy new nice fabric, it looks lovely and everything. It does kind of inspire you to go on a bit. Because I've got these lovely scraps that I bought last time, which I can't wait to use, but I'm going to be using them for something different. Yeah, I don't know until I start it what it's going to look like. So I'll have a go in the week and see what happens with it, and then I'll share it with you in the next week or so. So I just want to say thank you to I've got lots of new subscribers, so welcome. My videos are mainly going to be about English paper piecing. I'm a beginner quilter, so kind of quilting mini quilting things. I'm learning to bind. I do a little bit of embroidery. I made a lot of toys last year, I'm kind of putting myself on a bit of a toy ban because I had so many toys, and they're just everywhere, and I wanted to have a little break from that, and I was getting a bit overwhelmed. So yeah, this year, and it's going to be mini makes, cute fabrics, and using up some old fabrics. So if you haven't subscribed and you want to know what my possibly hideous quilt as you go is going to come out like, then maybe you want to subscribe, and then you can see what happens next. But yeah, I'm in too much. I was excited to share with you, and now I'm like, well, I don't really know. Anyway, I hope you're all well. It's been lovely to catch up with you today. I'm hoping to upload videos every week now, but I'll see how I go. There might be occasional weeks where I don't upload. I've also got a tutorial I'm going to be making, which is going to be a project bag. So I'm going to do a little bit of English piecing on the front, which I've shown you before. And I'm going to be making a project bag to put your projects in. And I've also, talking of project, I bought this because I thought, how lovely is this to put little projects in, like when you're doing I'm putting little bits and pieces in. So I got that, a big one and a small one, and I bought them as I'm trying to be tidy. I bought them as a little thing, and then because when I was making so many things last year, I had bags everywhere, and I love project bags, and obviously I'm going to be showing you how to make them in a tutorial. But sometimes you just want something that doesn't look makey, and you can just pop it in. So I got those from, where did I get from? Home Bargains, I think, and they were £4.99 for two. So they were a bargain in Home Bargains. So that's going to keep some of my projects in that one, and the bigger one to keep a little bit more streamlined with my making. So I'm feeling much better this year than I was last year. I was just so overwhelmed last year, and I just, like I said before, I just was trying to please everybody and do all the things, make all the projects, and then it just got too much, and I thought I can't do everything. So as I said before, I'm just focusing on the things that I love the most this year, and just buying the things I love the most, and using up some fabric that I've had for years. And so thank you for staying with me, and yeah, thank you for new subscribers too. I appreciate everybody. Yeah, so I hope you have a good week, and I will see you again very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.